Hello and welcome to the Postcast Podcast. My name is Caitlin or Cheese. I usually get the whole year done in one shot, but I guess I've been getting a bit more detailed, the Virgo in me, which means this has been taking up more time. If you haven't watched before, this is my second year doing year-ahead forecasts. If I talk too fast, there's a transcript of everything here, and I will timestamp as well. Initially, the Postcast Podcast was going to be episodes making predictions and then reviewing whether or not I got the astrology right. With timing constraints, what I've ended up doing is reviewing the astrology in real time on Instagram at Kate's Perspective. That's CAITS.PERSPECTIVE. Or on Facebook.com/Kate's Astrology Perspective. If you follow me there, you can watch as I track news stories and how it corresponds to my predictions. If you're interested in learning how I learned astrology, just listen to the Astrology Podcast. I practice astrology using the tropical zodiac, and I use the whole sign house system, not Placidus like most apps will default to. I use Eastern Standard Time up until October, and after October I use Greenwich Time. All of this is mundane astrology, which means I am not talking to one zodiac sign unless specified. Mundane astrology deals with how the transits in the sky affect worldwide events. Not just your life or where you're from, but how it would translate to the world. Most of the time, when I am reviewing the astrology on Instagram and Facebook, I will mirror it with a news headline. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I am only human, which means that it is absolutely impossible to disregard confirmation bias. I recognize that I could be seeing this all through my own lens, though I try to be as objective as I can. In addition to that, we all have personal biases, whether we want to or not. I do try very hard to step out of my own shoes to see what other people could see as good or bad, although I won't get it right all the time. And lastly, I want to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a psychic. I do not know with any certainty what will end up happening. Astrology to me is like having the ingredients to a recipe, but not actually knowing what you will be making or whether or not it'll be successful. I would take what I say with a grain of salt. I am always okay with getting things wrong because that is how I learn, trial and error. Astrology is a lifelong study and so much more complex than my human brain will ever understand. So yes, I will be incorrect sometimes. However, in the spirit of curiosity and truth-seeking, I think the only way to see if there is any merit to this is to continually make predictions and see if it matches or makes sense astrologically. You'll notice I have somewhat funny phrasing for most of my predictions. I start with the transits, then some keywords, and then I take a shot at synthesizing the phrasing with the world as we know it. There are many different keywords for the planets, signs, and houses, so I just kind of take one idea from each and run with it, which leaves plenty of room for error since I am not stating every possibility. As you study astrology more and more, you will understand why I might have different keywords for the same planet in two different transits. Sometimes you just have to try and take a stab at it. So I just also wanted to mention all of the predictions were written in early December, and today is January 11th, 2023, so that is when I am recording this. Okay, let's do February. Friday, February 3rd. The Sun in Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus. Focus on large groups, technology, outside-the-box thinking, or humanity is at a turning point with technological, revolutionary, rebelliousness, sudden changes, unexpected or abrupt moves in something dealing with security. A sudden change in what keeps society stable. For Cancer rising, the focus on shared assets, conceiving, taxes, debts, insurance, inheritance, loans, your partner's money, etc., is at a turning point with a sudden change in large groups, friends, or audience. If someone passed away and you are dealing with inheritance, did the person who died decide to donate more of their money to an organization than you were expecting? If you're trying to get pregnant, have you not been considering the idea of how it will change your social life and it just hit you? If there's a lot of talk about your partner's money, potential raise, job change, bonus, etc., is there a concern about bringing the friend into the business, or is there an issue with a friend they work with that you didn't consider before, or an unexpected problem with that person arises? If you're going through a really big change personally right now, is there a friend you didn't expect to either accept or deny you for this change? I don't have advice right now, as whatever it is at a turning point, and that's all I can see at the moment. But there should be comfort in knowing this is a part of the process. Saturday, February 4th. Venus in Pisces squares Mars in Gemini. Aesthetics, beauty, cohesion, love and something dealing with creativity, a lens, distortion of reality, dreaminess, collective consciousness, meditativeness, transcendence, the way we collectively view things, or good things in culture are at a turning point with action, severing ties or anger in communication or crashes in travel. A collective agreement on what angers us all. Is something to change from this, or at least something actionable about it? Pisces rising, you might be feeling yourself right now, but be careful of being too cocky. There is likely an argument or issue with your family, home, or roommates. Even if you are right, try to be tactful when dealing with this. Sunday, February 5th, full moon in Leo at 16 degrees 41 minutes. Manifestation of things that are center stage or command attention. For Libra rising, it is time to shine. This is a great day to do something publicly, perform at a show, or simply just hang out with your friends. Whatever you do, don't waste today at home unless you have an online audience to attend to. Monday, February 6th, Mercury in Capricorn sextiles Neptune and Pisces. Communication about institutions works together with deceit. Don't trust the institutions or powers that be to tell the truth right now. There is likely an intention to pull the wool over the eyes. For Aries rising, communication or travel at or for work, or communicating with a parent or a parent traveling, flows with your intuition or isolation. If it's about work, don't second guess what is coming to you naturally today. Just flow with it. Did you get offered remote work, which was something you were looking for? If it's about a parent, did they get out of the hospital or get good news regarding their health that has been of concern lately? If none of the above, and you are naturally intuitive, etc., I would use today to meditate. To sum up, February 3rd to the 6th, I'm looking at like a different kind of protest to speak up about what we need calls great attention to itself. Do not trust what the powers that be are trying to make you believe. Tuesday, February 7th, Mercury has completed covering its shadow period from January 18th to today at 24 degrees 20 minutes Capricorn. Whatever the topic about communication or travel dealing with institutions from December 12th until December 30th, 2022, and was being reviewed from December 30th until January 18th should be resolved by now. For Scorpio rising, Mercury in Capricorn is in your third house of transportations, siblings, local travel, neighborhood, the way you communicate, etc. I'm picking you because my husband's chart has been very in sync with this cycle so far as of January 7th, 2023. We unfortunately got flooded on December 23rd, which was within the topic period, and his car, which was third house stuff, just barely got ruined. On January 7th, within the time period of reviewing the travel and transportation, when Mercury retrograde was conjunct Pluto and Capricorn. It is officially totaled. He has a rental firm insurance for now, but I told him if possible, wait until January 19th when Mercury will definitely be going direct to find the new car, if his old one can't be fixed. I also did tell him that while I don't advocate entirely for living your life by astrology, if it is a reasonable possibility to hold off until then, it might be wise to do so. At the end of the day, you have to deal with life as it comes to you, though. So maybe your car got wrecked and you finally have another one by now. Wednesday, February 8th, Venus and Pisces sextiles Uranus and Taurus. Love, cohesion, aesthetic and beauty, and dreaminess, creativity, transcendence, seeing through a lens, works with sudden change and security topics. Instinct should kick in when something that is relied on for stability goes rogue. It might be hard to be confident in the instinct, but it should be trusted. The last 2 years, I've played Lotto on this day specifically for the mundane possibilities, and I made $10 to $30 depending on the last 2 years. I'll definitely be buying another ticket on this day. Please play responsibly. Virgo rising, this would be a great time to book or take a trip somewhere far away with your partner. If you have a business partner and work in something related to politics, writing, or law, etc., I would think something unexpected might happen today that turned out to be good. Friday, February 10th, Mercury in Capricorn is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Communication about power or underworld topics, sketchiness, and institutions. Major communications with the powers that be. Sagittarius rising. Is there talk of some big money moves for you, for better or worse? It's hard to tell if it's good or bad, even though Pluto is malefic. When I think of the key phrasing, Pluto makes small things big and big things small, it could go either way. Saturday, February 11th, Mercury ingresses from Capricorn to Aquarius from now until March 2nd. Reflect on the mercurial themes in Capricorn since December 10th, 2022 until today. Communication shifts from institutions to large groups of people, outside-the-box thinking, technology, or humanity. I would expect an extra focus on social media or AI like ChatGPT or Lensa for the next few weeks. Leo rising. If you're single, it's a great time to mingle for the next few weeks. If you've got a partner, there's an extra focus on how you communicate with your partner or your partner traveling from now until March 2nd. Wednesday, February 15th, Venus and Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Good distortions today. It's a great meditative time today and yesterday since the transit occurs early in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. A wonderful day to get lost in creative endeavors or relax in general. It could be a great day for Meta, the company, though I haven't looked at Meta's birth chart when I was referring to this. I'm sure I have in general. Aquarius rising, there's definitely potential for some money to float into your account without even noticing it, or money you find on the ground. Perhaps there's a creative way you are able to bring in some money. Whatever it is, it deals with your second house, money, and Venus being there is never a bad thing. Neptune can be concerning, but since it's conjunct with Venus, I feel more positive about it. Just watch out for something that might seem too good to be true. Thursday, February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius is conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. Focus on large groups of people, humanity, technology, or outside-the-box thinking overshadows the limitations or restrictions that are happening in those topics. Another day to read between the lines. Today, the focus on people or technology seems great, but you can't see what the rules and restrictions are going to be just yet. Those rules are likely already set in place. Does something about Meta's virtual reality seem great? Watch out for the data they might steal, no brainer there. Gemini rising, it seems like a great day to plan a trip far away, but just wait a few days so you can see what the limitations or cancellation policies might be. Take the time to read the fine print before clicking buy. If you're applying to college, be prepared to accept rejection, or if you are accepted, take note if the college would limit you in some way. Don't get overzealous. Take your time to think it through. If you're in college, put in a little more effort. You might think you're doing great, but could be surprised in a few days when reality sets in and you see the grade. If you're a teacher, you might feel limited on what you can do to help your students right now, but the limitations seem vague. Wait a few days for it to become clearer. If none of those apply to you, you might be particularly focused on politics, philosophy, religion, law, astrology, foreign things, etc. You might feel like you are identifying with a certain way of thinking, but just remember to come back down to earth and take the time to learn the pros and cons of it all. Friday, February 17th. Mercury in Aquarius sextiles Jupiter in Aries. Communication about large groups of people, technology, outside-the-box thinking, or humanity works together with expansion or justice in war, sports, or something fiery. Utilizing social media to unite people for a greater good that could unfortunately be warlike. It could also be a great day for a cyber attack if it ends up being more negative. Capricorn rising. Communication about money or moving money around will work well with good things at home or with your family. Maybe you'll find out that some renovations on your house won't cost as much as you think, or maybe a family member gives you some money. Saturday, February 18th. The Sun ingresses from Aquarius into Pisces until March 20th. Reflect on what's mainly been focused on from January 20th until today. The focus shifts from technology, outside-the-box thinking, large groups of people or humanity, to dreaminess, getting lost in creativity, transcendence, conspiratorial thinking, meditativeness, etc. The focus shifts from how we can make the world better to collective consciousness and culture. Taurus rising, you've been very focused on work for the past month, so for the next month, do some more socializing and try to make some more time to see your friends. Sunday, February 19th, Venus in Pisces sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. Beauty and distortion works with power moves in institutions. Are we easily manipulated? I imagine this is like giving a baby a shiny object with buttons. We are easily distracted. Maybe that's like TikTok stuff. Who knows? On Monday, February 20th, Venus ingresses from Pisces into Aries until March 16th. Reflect on the Venusian themes in Pisces from January 26th to today. We also have a new moon in Pisces. Topics covering Aries together with Pisces makes me think of psychological warfare. With Venus in Aries, beauty, cohesion, aesthetics are good things, shifts from distorted reality to action. Think of beautiful workouts like yoga, tai chi, trapezing, or maybe even ballet. Beautiful physical, fiery movements instead of beauty in the mind for the next few weeks. At the same time, we have new suggestions planting the seeds for something distorted or dealing with our collective consciousness. Perhaps there is a new idea dealing with consciousness that merges with a way to tempt us into believing something. In a better light, we could say that after Venus has been highlighting what the masses collectively believe that is good, Venus now takes that thought and applies it to getting stuff done. With a new moon in Pisces, this should all be intuitive. Maybe today you don't need a to-do list. That's crazy. Go with the flow, but do not procrastinate. Turn this off and get to work if you're watching today. Tuesday, February 21st. Mercury in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. Communication or travel dealing with large groups of people, technology, outside-the-box thinking, or humanity is at a turning point with sudden or unexpected, rebellious, revolutionary-like change in what keeps us secure. Conversation amongst the masses for how to deal with a turning point and what keeps us secure, seemingly out of nowhere. Wednesday, February 22nd. Mercury in Aquarius trines Mars in Gemini. Communication or travel dealing with large groups of people, technology, outside-the-box thinking, or humanity works together with action, anger, arguments, separation in communication, or ideas. Are there big arguments about immigration policies? Is there a potential for great advancements in some form of technological communication? To sum up February 2023, I think it will be focused on an international event, a collective idea among the people for what can help us more. I feel like it will deal with immigration policies, just from what I'm pulling right now. The masses of people and countries potentially speak out for what we collectively want guaranteed for security, like war crime laws, humanitarian needs, etc. So that's it for February. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, click the notification button, all that cheesy stuff I gotta say. I'd love to hear if any of this was accurate from your perspective or not. Or if you're a bit more advanced at astrology, let me know which keywords I should have traded out for if I got it wrong. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Kate's.perspective, and on Facebook at facebook.com/Kate's Astrology Perspective. Use your mind and please be kind.